Hello, this is the lecture for Chapter 12, Charting Your Course for Collaborative School Consultation, and also the final chapter of Collaborating, Consulting, and Working in Teams for Students with Special Needs. As you read Chapter 12 and listen to the lecture, let's look at what you'll be able to do as a result. You can now predict situations in education that will require collaboration. You can illustrate ways that all stakeholders are involved in school-based collaboration. You can describe positive ripple effects of teaching and learning that can result from collaborative teamwork. You can differentiate levels of service that can be provided by collaborative consultation. You will be able to point out the benefits that collaborative school consultation can bring to school communities. And finally, you can now summarize the competencies, which include both acquired skills and innate abilities and ethics that are needed to ensure the success of collaborative consultation and teamwork. Collaborative school consultants are looked to for their leadership. We are in the business of preparing youth for the future. In some ways, this means that we'll need to think about education in schools in new ways that foster creating a new vision of helping students achieve their potential in a connected world. Thinking and acting in new ways won't happen overnight, but instead is a step-by-step process. The principal's role and responsibilities are vast and can be overwhelming. Many school issues compete for a principal's time and energy. In order for collaboration and teamwork to occur, building administrators must be involved as they make the allocations of time, space, and other resources that are essential for effective consultation and collaboration. Administrators assign paraprofessionals, coordinate teamwork, and promote staff development for new reform and programs. Administrators who wish to see collaborative teamwork and consultation on their campus will need to free up teacher time and arrange for substitutes and activities if this is to occur. They will need to work alongside staff to ensure role parity, effective interactions among staff, and provide staff development. Today's schools require that principals serve as instructional leaders. Bateman and Bateman created the handbook, A Principal's Guide to Special Education, to assist principals in their understanding of special education and what they must know in order to implement best practices in special education in schools. This includes eligibility and placement, special education laws, policy issues concerning discipline and due process, accountability, staffing, and working with school counselors, and more. Activity 12.1 on page 418 presents questions for beginning teachers to ask the building administrator. Take a minute to consider these questions. Activity 12.2 assists all collaborators to construct a process for collaboration and teamwork. This guide can be a handy tool to keep in your portfolio or desk for quick review and referral. The school board has much influence in the community. Primary roles of the school board are to focus on policy. They typically meet once a month and the meetings can be lengthy. They are likely to appreciate concise written reports or fact sheets. I do encourage teachers to attend at least one school board meeting because they can illuminate a school district's direction and priorities. School psychologists and counselors have integral roles in assessing student abilities and providing assessment data to teachers and parents. School psychologists perform many roles vital to special education, which can include counseling, assessment, consultation, crisis intervention, and academic and behavior intervention. Though some districts I've seen have failed to use them in this way, school psychologists should have an active role in multi-tiered systems or response to intervention. School psychologists also collaborate in IEP planning and at times may serve as the administrator at the IEP meeting. When psychologists and counselors are part of the problem-solving process, educators are better able to focus on the needs of the whole child. Collaborative consultants can coordinate useful staff development activities. Do note that training and professional development should be distinguished from one another. Training is the how, or the user manual, or instructor's guide. Professional development, on the other hand, is needed for teachers to understand the why and when to use the tool or strategy. They build the teacher's capacity. Professional development should be concerned with student learning. The test of success of effective professional development is what teachers do with the new information they receive. Professional development activities that focus on peer collaboration includes teachers collaborating in writing curriculum and assessments, examining student work, observing each other's classrooms, and mentoring new teachers, all which can have a significant impact on student achievement. A step that is often skipped is asking the teachers what they know and what they need to know. Let's look at a few ways to solicit the needs of teachers. To gauge teacher needs for development that will improve student achievement, the following can be used: checklists, questionnaires and surveys, interviews, brainstorming sessions, or informal methods such as observations and team meetings. Consider the following matrix for the planning, method, and evaluation of formal and informal professional development options. When asked, most teachers prefer for staff development to occur during the school day and that student responsibilities be assumed by others. Some educators may choose to seek out conferences, conventions, and workshops to develop their personal growth. A team model that includes a classroom teacher, a special education teacher, and an administrator is a model that can work well for convention themes. Discussions that take place within the group can be brought back to the school building and their ideas shared. The staff break room, workroom, or lounge varies a great deal from school to school. It can be a place where co-educators can interact, but these interactions differ based on school climate and culture. Educators visit the workroom for one of three purposes: physical, social, or personal. Some may use the space to catch up on tasks such as grading papers, lesson planning, and some are simply looking for an opportunity to interact with colleagues and share reflections about teaching and student needs. Good ideas can come from these brief moments. However, break room conversations can also be problematic when the discourse is negative and cynical. If this is the case in your break room, it's best to avoid this location. Negativity will zap the energy and enthusiasm of teachers. Positive ripple effects of collaboration and school consultation can spread beyond the immediate situation involving a teacher and a student. As teachers learn specialized intervention techniques, benefits can extend beyond the immediate classroom. Mutual planning and problem solving across grade levels, subject areas, and attendance centers in a school district are powerful change agents in a school system. 3 levels are associated with collaborative and consultative services and are briefly introduced here. Level 1 refers to direct services for special needs. Level 2 refers to services for similar needs. And Level 3 refers to organizational change and increased family involvement. In the next 2 slides, we'll look at the competencies that are necessary for collaborative co-educators. Think about how you might assess your own competency in the following: being knowledgeable about both special and general education curriculum and methods, being interested in current trends and topics and innovative new ideas, recognizing and valuing diversity of preferences and perspectives among teachers and students, understanding how schools function, and having a panoramic view of the educational scene. Being practical and realistic, innovative, assertive, risk-taking as appropriate, and always fair and diplomatic. Relating well to all parties involved in the collaboration process. Using good communication skills with patience and understanding. Demonstrating objective viewpoints toward all aspects of education. Keeping a professional perspective on the entire school context. Linking people with resources, referring people to other sources as appropriate, and teaching when that is the most useful way to serve students' needs. Being willing and not hesitant in seeking out help if needed. And finally, being comfortable and confident as an agent for change and progress. Ethical collaboration and consultation demonstrates a high regard for individual differences among colleagues and a constructive use of those differences to serve student needs. Collaborative co-educators demonstrate one-downsmanship, or downplaying status differences and communicating as partners. They advocate for those with special needs and a mutual ownership of problems and successes in the school environment. Educators, it's time to chart your course. Whether you are a pre-service teacher, a novice, an experienced teacher, or a veteran, the competencies assessment on page 435 and the checklist on page 438 can provide you with practical recommendations. Once you feel prepared to respond positively to the top 12 collection of practical recommendations that are listed in figure 12.5, you can feel confident in your abilities to work collaboratively as a team member and advocate of student needs. Teachers may not still receive an apple on their desk, or maybe they do in some schools. Conditions are different for teachers today, but the apple still signifies the important work to be done. A bounty of seeds emerge when a person slices an apple, and when sliced horizontally, the image of a star will appear. We can envision the star, gather up the seeds, and plant them far and wide. Then we can count all of the apples that will grow from that vision and just a few small seeds. This concludes the lecture for chapter 12 and completes all the lectures for collaborating, consulting, and working in teams for students with special needs.